As we celebrate the 50th anniversary of Herkimer County Community College, it is my honor to congratulate and to thank our founders who had the vision and persistence to establish this wonderful institution. I would also like to thank all who have worked tirelessly through the years to build a solid foundation of academic programs and services, co-curricular programs, and a vibrant campus life for our students. Since 1966, Herkimer College has demonstrated a commitment to community, excellence, integrity, and opportunity. We are proud of the positive impact our institution has made on the lives of thousands of students, alumni, their families, and the community we serve. As we look forward to the next 50 years, may we do so with our hearts and imaginations ready for the challenges and opportunities yet to come.
It takes unusual talent in people to develop college from scratch. The pioneers did their job very well, and of course, the others, there are so many unsung heroes, highly motivated people who worked at the college.
At that time, the college was being operated from a factory here in the valley, and so they needed a campus very badly.
When the college was first getting underway back in the late 60s, we used to have our division meetings at the bar of the Ilion Hotel. And that's a very fond memory, primarily because that's where I met my wife.
We used to come in the morning sometimes, and there'd be dirt on the floor where the forklifts and all that stuff would be. We'd have to clean up a little bit. That was a little hard to get used to, but it was the first of all, we would just sweep it up and go on the way with what we were doing.
The walls were thin. When we were teaching in a classroom, if somebody sneezed, you could hear it.
The athletic program, regardless of what you hear from anybody else, was started by me going over to the local store in Ilion and buying a bag of bats, softballs, catcher's glove, and having the first intramural softball game. And it went from there. As a young 27-year-old attorney hired by Anthony Costantino, he asked me as one of the founding trustees to help him. And one of my jobs that he wanted me to help him with was the founding and the location of the campus and the future site of Herkimer County Community College.
I won't say daily, but many times a week, there were articles in the paper about what was happening. The committee represented people from all over the county, and they certainly are to be applauded for the wonderful work that they did, because they didn't have an easy job, I'm sure.
We started in an old factory building over in Utica, over in Ilion, New York. And to be able to move into an entire 5-building, $6 million campus all at once up here was just fantastic.
The campus opened here up on the hill in 1971, in the fall of 71. And Jack A. Louse and I were hired at that time, and we hooked up with Tom Lapuma, who was the athletic director. So we had a physical education department of 3.
I pretty much drew up what I wanted for labs in the new building. I went around to a couple of places to check out what we might do, so they pretty much gave me the idea that I could get what I want, so that worked out pretty good.
I always tell the story of my first golf class out in the back here. We had to climb over a barbed wire fence to get into the field to hit golf balls. There were still cows out there, and there was pastures out there, and
I think they made the decisions. Instead of saying, well, let's do this real easy. No, they said, let's dive off the deep end. That's what we did. We jumped right in. And I think the whole education community was watching this little startup college and saying, where's Herkimer, and what is Herkimer? And I think right off the bat, we made a very definite impression, and we made an imprint that has just stayed forever.
I think the esprit de corps, the way in which faculty, staff, and students, and our support groups, the legislature, and boards of trustees, everybody kind of pulled together with this common drive to make the place succeed.
Our philosophy was always student-centered. It came from the president, but it was highly imbued in throughout the college.
We all came from different educational backgrounds. We came from different teaching backgrounds, but we were there for one big thing, and that was to create a new community college, and it was very exciting and very unique.
Probably the single most important evolution during my time here was online and education. Second was housing. We did a tremendous amount of work providing off-campus and on-campus housing for our students, which was critical to the enrollment situation back then. The third is our athletic program. Its long history and strength has been one of the founding blocks of the institution and makes Herkimer what it is today. It's just another feather in our recruitment cap here, something that we've all been proud of for a long time.
In those early years, I think they realized that the growth of the campus had to expand to meet the changing role of what needed to be in the classroom, the types of programs that had to be developed. So that kind of pushed the development, the infrastructure in a direction that was moving from an earlier iteration of the college into a more, one that could embrace the technological changes.
I think what makes us special is probably what a lot of my peers would say, and I think that that's because we are so caring. We're a kind institution. We want students to come in and succeed, and I think it's because of the people that work here that's what we stand for.
I found the faculty to be caring and amazing, far more looking back now than I actually would expect a college faculty to be. And I also found the campus to be safe and friendly and inviting, and the whole experience of going to school here felt like a very supportive community.
First of all, this is a college that cares for students. That's number one. I've worked at other colleges, of course I've been to college. Every place you go in this campus, the primary concern is the students. And that wasn't me, that was here when I arrived. McLaughlin had established that caring for students before I ever showed up, and then I just tried to carry it on. And the faculty, they really do care about the students. They watch out for students, they keep an eye on students. You don't always have that at a college either.
I've been through all of 47 of our commencements, and I really have enjoyed watching the students, how they have changed and progressed and matured, just in terms of their worldliness over the past so many decades.
People have graduated from here, gone on maybe to a four-year school or even beyond that to graduate school, and have made so much of their lives that I think that this college has done a great deal to start so many people on their way.
There's so many things that this school has that other schools just don't have, or they don't have all of them. We just have so many opportunities for kids to be successful here and continue. And I think the kids know that, and when they leave, they realize how fortunate they've been to be at Herkimer. It's been a good place. Herkimer does a lot of things right.
Because a college this size really can spend time with students, and you're not in a class of 150 students taught by a lab assistant. That's not how we operate. And so students do get the best out of their teachers. Some of them don't particularly want that, but we give it to them anyway. So, yeah, that's if you come to Herkimer, I'll guarantee you
a lot of people are going to know your name. A lot of faculty are going to know you, and they're going to take care of you.
I would describe Herkimer College as a whole as a family environment. There's not too many colleges in the country that you can go where you could get to know everybody, have a personal relationship with the president of the course or the dean of students. I think that's something very important to me, because if you go to a large school, you don't have the opportunities like that.
I don't think there's another institution that takes every single student that comes through here with their family and treats them as if they were the most special student in the world. I don't think there's another institution that gives them such personal attention and takes seriously what they need, recognizes what their needs are, and then adjusts to meet those needs.
I was at a Hall of Fame thing up in Utica a couple years ago, and I was wondering what I was going to say and why I do what I did at Herkimer and why I took that job. And then I looked up and there was Tom Coyne. If you remember, Tom Coyne was one of our radio TV. He was the master of ceremonies. And in comes Mike Dool and his wife Donna, and he's the AD at Whitesboro, and they were students. And I look in and I see Pepe Aragon, who was one of our students, and Matt Lee, and I'm thinking that's what it's all about, seeing these people be successful in their lives and use the education they got at Herkimer to go on. That's my greatest joy of being at Herkimer.
Herkimer County Community College still has a top reputation for its faculty, for its staff, for the beautiful scenery up on the hill, and so on and so forth, and all of that's outstanding.
My particular vision for this institution is that it remain, that it sustain and it keep going, because it does something that no other institution does. There's a heart and a soul here that is in its people and just in everything that it does, and that needs to continue for the sake of the students.
So how do we prepare our students not only for the jobs that are going to be here 5-10 years from now, but how do we prepare our students, our graduates, for those jobs that will take them in to the next 10 to 20 years? That's job one for us.
The college has made progress, and I think that with the leadership they've had and they continue to have, we're just going to continue on a very, very successful path.
Well, I think one of our primary survival tactics has been our flexibility and our quickness to respond to market demands.
So much is going on right now in the Mohawk Valley region regarding workforce development. And part of my vision for our institution is to make sure that we are staying in tune to what the needs are when it comes to workforce development, because we are an economic engine.
I think that the challenge now here is to take this garden that's been started and cared for and loved and doted over for all these decades, that we start looking at different crops to plant. We start looking at ways to do things that we used to do, which were maybe more labor intensive. We do them in a different way that is more productive. And we start looking at sustainability, in the literal and figurative sense, both. There's a lot more that this institution has on its horizon to look forward to. So,
Herkimer College students in the future, just keep being great, keep doing what you do, and we'll be successful always.